Hey, it's Josh from the Interact Experience platform, and today I want to walk you through an experience that was created for the purpose of recruiting. Now, if you're not aware, I don't know how you wouldn't be, but we are in currently one of the most difficult recruiting environments that has existed probably ever in our lifetimes, if you're alive today in 2022. But I think this is just a really good example of a way to stand out in any sort of industry or endeavor that's difficult, right? So there's always going to be examples where it's difficult to accomplish a goal, it's difficult to stand out, and whether that's on you're trying to grow your following, your audience, you're trying to attract the right type of customers, or in this case, the right type of employees. And Sugar Bowl Resort, which is one of my favorite places actually, did an amazing job of creating a quiz designed at attracting and drawing in potential hires for their business. So let's take a look at it and we can break down some of the reasons why it works really well. One of the really big reasons that I want to talk about before we jump in, and we can actually do it as we're jumping in. So this is their website, sugarbowl.com. You go down, quiz, is Sugar Bowl the right place to work for you to work? Now, right off the bat, this checks one of the boxes for our best practices, which is you want your title to be about the person taking the quiz. So this says, is Sugar Bowl the right place for you to work? You. And that's important because you want to speak to the person taking the quiz. You want a quiz to create an experience and a story that the person taking the quiz sees themselves in that story. So in this case, right, is it the right place for you to work? Now, I think you can juxtapose this too with the idea of a link that says jobs or work at Sugar Bowl. That's not really talking to me or about me. That's just a list of jobs. Whereas this flips it around, which is one of the really big components of quizzes, and it makes it about you, the person taking this quiz. So we click on this, it pops up. You don't even have to leave the page, which I think is really great. That's a good practice for just increasing your conversion rates overall on quizzes, is just have it be a simple experience that doesn't distract or make them go to a new page or do something complicated to get there. As few hoops to jump through as possible is great. The cover here is also great. The photo, I like that. Really quick, simple description. You can see the take the quiz button. Most people, when they come on these quizzes, they're just going to look for that take the quiz button. They're not really going to read any of the rest of this, so you want to make sure that's featured very, very prominently. Now, I want to talk through kind of a two-thread thing here. So this is used for recruiting, but I also want to talk about the story that's created within this quiz. So I mentioned that the title references you, the person taking this quiz, right? So that's one important aspect of the story because you can draw people in to be part of the story of what it would be like to experience working at Sugar Bowl through this quiz. And if you can accomplish that, then you have implanted an idea in their mind and something that's going to stick, whether or not they're ready to do it right now, or it comes to closer to the winter and they're thinking about what kind of job they might want to do through the winter season. This is a great way to tell a story and remember stories, and so it's a really good thing here. So take the quiz. It's going to load in. It's got a lot of gifts. Okay, really important thing here, right? So if you think of a quiz as an experience or as a story, what makes a story memorable? One thing is character development. And so, how do you develop character when you are writing a quiz? Well, here's a great example. Put in gifts that show your character. And at the same time, the person taking this quiz is part of the story too, because their character is developing by selecting one of these options. And they're actually kind of able to take what's on the inside, their self, their true self, and display that on the quiz. And so I'm going to click on this, go through this. There's also some practical questions in here, which is, obviously important if you are really using this as a serious thing, which we recommend you do. But also, right, again, going back to that story concept, you want it to have an arc. And so you want the person to think about things that are both serious and more fun. So we'll just kind of click through these. Similar concept throughout. I like that there's a mix of GIFs and then just text questions. That's a good practice for creating quizzes as well. They've got 10 questions, which is a good amount. And we'll go through the rest of these. At the end, there is a component here that asks if you'd like to opt in. Opting in, is optional here. And on average, what we see is that about half the people will opt in with a form like this. It's optional. The reason why that's so high is because if somebody's taken the time to get here, they've spent about 2 minutes on your quiz experience. They are now part of the story of the quiz. And it's a little bit different. Well, it's a lot different. It's a lot different than just having a pop-up on your site that says, hey, do you want to opt in? There's no context there. They don't know you. You don't know them. Whereas they've gone through a quiz. Now they feel, at least I feel, after going through that quiz, like I kind of know the vibe of whoever created this quiz at Sugar Bowl. And I could probably guess, and maybe I'm not actively thinking this, but it makes a lot of sense, that whoever created this quiz is probably on the hiring side. So I have a sense of who they are, what they're about. And that makes a big difference because it's just so much, it's so far away from the pop-up or the thing that says get a discount or, get updates on jobs, right? All, you can see the tone of the voice kind of drops there. It's like, ugh, not that interesting. Whereas this, right? Now I'm interested. This is engaging me. And I'm going to skip it because I'm not ready right now. And my result is indoor seasonal. And it says, yes, Sugar Bowl has indoor-based jobs. Speak with a recruiter. It shows the salary here, your workplace environment, browse job postings. Okay, so now I'm getting back to the browse job postings, but instead of this browse job postings just being on the site, and it's like one of 20 links I could click on. Now I've spent a couple of minutes taking this quiz. I've engaged with it. I have a sense of who this person is, and the conversion rates that we see on average are just so much higher for people actually clicking through and applying and getting in touch, all that kind of good stuff. And so this is a excellent job of creating a recruiting quiz using Interact. Anybody can do this. You can just go to tryinteract.com, click create a quiz now, start a free trial, you get 14 days to try it out. After that, the monthly options are very affordable. You can also book a strategy call, talk with somebody on our team, chat through how you should best, what are some best practices for creating your quiz. I mentioned some of them here, the things like including the person in the title, having that short cover, using GIFs or images plus text in the questions, less than 10 questions, 10 or so, having that opt-in form at the end. One thing that we didn't talk about too much, but like making sure that you have a resolution to your story of your quiz, which is these results. Have a satisfying resolution. What's worse than a TV show or book you get to the end of and you're like, oh, that's not interesting. So you want to make sure you have this in here, this result that really explains kind of what the outcome is. So you can do all that in Interact. Super easy to set it up. You just log in, create a quiz, add questions, all that kind of good stuff. I'll link a video below on Builder walkthrough if you're interested in learning more about that, or you can go to the site and just try it out. Again, free trial, or talk to somebody on our team. All right, good luck recruiting. Hope it goes well for you and your company, and hope that you enjoy creating your quiz and having people take it.